Black Parade. It's not here.
Oh, Death Parade.
Dead Parade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Black Parade. It's it's a song,
oh.
right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Like when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. All right.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to episode 103 of Jobless Weebs.
Hooray!
I'm getting better at it.
That's right.
You know, I every time I like a little less.
Oh yes.
Which
yes.
you know, by episode 103, I should not lack, but my brain is like, yeah, I think this is.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, my name is Brian.
whoa!
My name is Marco, the Viva Mexican.
Yeah. And I'm Brian.
And the thing that I should have lacked, I lacked.
Yeah.
How are you, Brian?
Oh gosh, I'm really good. Yeah, it was a great week, and yeah, looking forward to the weekend. 3-day weekend for me, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it was also a 3-day weekend for me.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For you, it's gonna be a.
Oh yes, it's gonna be Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh
yeah.
Boy, yeah, that's way better.
It's gonna be nice. Yep.
I mean, it's way better because today is like it's almost the end of the day. So
right. Yeah.
But no, it's good to hear.
Yeah. Yep. How have you been?
I've been doing good. You know, I've been procrastinating some important stuff, but I think I still have some time. So
that's good.
That's why I'm not really worried. But
like freaking out.
It definitely should make like the to-do list for like the upcoming weeks at least.
Oh yes.
I started a new position at work. It's interesting. It's kind of like messy.
Okay, but, there you go.
Yeah, it's
on site.
Yeah, it's on site sometimes. It's a lot like really interesting stuff, and I get to have 3-day weekends now because working Monday to Thursday, so I'm a jobless Weebs for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes, anime time.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, like this week.
Oh yeah.
After I finish watching the anime that we're gonna talk about today, I just decided to restart again. Qeendecim, Love Live Superstar.
There you go. Yep.
I think those are the ones. Yeah.
Nice.
Those are the ones like. Yeah, the ones. My favorite animes. I always repeat them. Like, at least 3 times a year. At least.
Oh yeah, at least.
Because I've heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, is your favorite anime still your favorite after watching it 2 times?" It's like, dude, I've watched it more than 15 times and it's still my favorite.
Yes.
Like 2 times, those are rocky numbers.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I would agree because like, yeah, even 3 times. Like, okay, yeah, my favorite anime, 3 times at least. Like 2, that's nothing.
Yeah, and I watch them 3 times. Yeah. A year at least. So.
Yes, a year. Oh, speaking of those anime, I continued watching The Order of Rabbit.
Finally, are you ready to join the church of The Order of Rabbit?
Oh yes.
You would get a complimentary cocoa.
Oh, I would. Oh,
Once you sign to the church. Welcome. Come on.
Yes. I'm there. And I got to the part where Cocoa is gone for a little while, and Chino is making the cocoa drinks. Like she's like, there are too many now. But, Cocoa is sick. Love it. It's such a lovely anime. Yeah.
Why did you finish it? Like, that's my go-to anime for like, I need to relax. It's like, I know where I'm supposed to laugh, and I was like, here comes the funny part. It's like, and I still laugh. It's like if it were like the first time. But I was like, fun times. But anyways, for this anime, it's it's not bright and
Oh,
sunny for this anime.
no, yeah,
This
this is
anime
a
is
total 180.
kind of freaky. It's total 180. I would say that it's even a bit it touches a bit some taboo topics.
Ooh, yes.
That a lot of times are avoided, but I've noticed that a lot of these kind of like Asian shows, Asians referring K-dramas, J-dramas, animes, or even sometimes like manga or manhwas.
Even mangas, right?
They happen to be touching these topics a lot, and for a good reason.
I can see that. Yes, I definitely can see that.
Because it's like this touches topics like suicide.
Definitely.
Which is like
suicide.
If you're struggling with that, it's like don't rely on anime. It's good, but don't rely on anime.
You don't think like this is gonna. Oh well, we have suicide, and this one also physical abuse. Well, assault, and a couple of things. But
really, sensitive topics. That is like, oh crap! Like, are they really going that route? It was like they are okay.
They are.
I guess I'll watch. It was like I'm disgusted, but I'm interested.
Oh yes, yeah.
So this anime, it's an original anime from 2015 called Dead Parade.
Yeah,
it's an interesting anime. It's
it
not
is
exactly
out
my
there,
cup of tea. The first time that I started watching it, I dropped it because it's like, it's a little on the heavy side.
It is,
and especially since
and not
becoming a full-fledged weeb, I've said like Slice of Life is my go-to. So it's like
absolutely.
I watch a few action ones, like Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, Jujutsu Kaisen, that are like really high intensity, like gory and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like,
this is an ugly, heavy type of anime. Yeah.
So from my point of view, and normally we do this at the end of the episode, like I would put it like 6.57.
Okay.
I'm being really biased because it's not exactly my cup of tea.
Yeah. So it's still pretty strong. But I agree. Like, I'd probably give it an 8. Yeah. But definitely not for the faint of heart.
Definitely, as far as the plot goes, it's interesting. It's really open-ended.
It is very,
and it is episodic. So while it has kind of like a story to follow, for the most part, it's an episodic kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah, we see fresh faces pretty much every episode.
Well, the opening is also really good.
Oh yeah, it was
really catchy.
One thing I wanted to say was that this is one of the anime that, the opening song, it caught me. Like it drew me in, like, even before thinking of the anime.
And they just with the pose and
it's so cool. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, to some extent, the song is upbeat and kind of like a happy beat.
Total,
or like really energetic, and it's like
it's totally not like the anime when you get into it. Yeah, definitely one of those. Oh man.
But so now that we got out of the way, let's start. So this anime starts well, our main character, his name is Decim.
Yep.
He is a bartender at a place called Qeendecim.
Qeendecim.
I did not research about this. Does that mean anything?
It was kind of odd because Queen was the name of the previous owner of this bar. So I didn't really look into it, thinking that it was just their names mashed together, which it didn't really make sense to me of them doing that. But Qeendecim. 15. It's Latin. It's the number 15. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because Decim is 10, and Queen or Quinn yeah, Qeendecim 15. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, I don't know if it really signifies anything, at least for this anime.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
simple enough. Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of
yeah.
times, at least in
True.
anime, is just this, just playing with the names,
Right,
And it somehow means something,
yeah, which is
plot related, or
that's
like
right.
kind of like
Foundational
to the
foundational to the rest of
kind of
yeah,
thing.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, this
yeah,
bartender Decim, he's quite the character. He's an expressionless dude.
Yeah.
And I guess our first episode is just with people that arrives there through an elevator, like 2 elevators. Like they arrive in different elevators. They just there, and they're like, "What's
What
this?
is this place?"
And he's like, "Oh, welcome to Qeendecim. I'm Decim, the bartender." He's like, "Do you remember anything prior to coming here?" No.
They're like, "No." Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. It's like, okay, that's weird. Yeah, right from the get-go.
And we also have another girl. She's a nameless girl that she doesn't remember anything. And before, I don't think she's introduced in the first episode.
Yeah, not
I think
for
she's
all
introduced
intents and purposes, the second one.
Kind of like the second episode that happens at the same time as the first episode.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, Decim introduced these people to like, hey, let's play a game.
Yeah.
like
okay, do the roulette, and it chooses it, and it's darts. I think it's like 7 darts or something like that.
Yeah, it's 7 darts. The target has some pictures of body parts in the of like the opposing person.
Yes.
So it was a male and a female, and they had to play darts, and the target of the male were the body parts of the female, and the target of the female were the body parts of the male, and in whichever part they would, place a dart.
Yeah.
Also, depending on like the points of the dart, that'll be equivalent to the pain.
Yep.
Which is
the
pretty
pain of hitting that particular body part. Yeah. Man, like is that where you dropped?
No, I actually dropped that
on the first watch because dang, like that, like I did not want to go through it whatsoever.
No, I dropped it around episode actually just before the detective.
The detective.
The episode with the detective.
Oh, you went pretty far then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because that's okay. Halfway through.
Yeah.
It's like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like let's see. Where can't even read my notes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yeah. 8 or 9. Yep. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, well, yeah. Yeah. So, and they're told that they can't leave until they finish the game, which is kind of an interesting rule. I'm not sure if they really try to leave. A few others down the line, tried to leave.
I think they did, but they never find the exit. It's just like
that's
a
right.
restroom.
Yeah, it's just like, that's right. Yep. So they're like, okay, I think they just start playing, and when they hit, they do feel the pain. And man,
I mean,
it's crazy, man.
These people are supposed to be a couple, and they're like, oh well, let's just fail, and it's like, oh, but what happens? Purpose. What happens if, like, to the one that wins or to the one that loses. And Decim shows them like a room that it's full of kind of like people like hanging from threads,
Yeah.
and he's just like
Bodies,
like
basically.
pushing them to the limit.
Right.
Like,
Because it's this
emotionally or psychologically.
Because it's this implied threat that, yeah, if you lose, yeah, you'll die.
Yeah.
Which is, he doesn't tell them explicitly, but
kind of.
there.
But it's like, that's what they understand. It's like, okay, so if you lose.
Yeah.
And it's like, at this point, it's like, like a horror story. It's like,
right.
Oh, I want to play a game. And like, he's like, oh, I know how this ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've seen this movie and I know it doesn't end well.
How it ends. Yep, that's right.
And so these people, they are pushed to the limit up to the point where they begin to remember stuff of their past. The game, it's over. And then they're like, we're dead. It's like, yep.
Yeah, they remember.
You're dead.
Which is so weird because it's just that idea of they go in there not realizing that they're already dead. And throughout this game, they were remembering like who they were, what happened, what led up to their deaths. And for them, it's messed up.
Yeah.
And what happened is that they were a couple on their honeymoon, but in the sense that, well, they were on a cliffside road, and he became really
toxic,
yeah, and basically caused their own deaths. And yeah, this couple, they struck me as I don't know. It was kind of interesting how they played it out because the girl,
I didn't know what to make of it because do you think that the girl was actually like
so
she became like the bad guy just to save him, or was she actually a bad person?
It was
this guy was just going crazy.
Yeah, he went nuts. He went off the rail. But yeah, it's still, even after watching the second episode, and then what Nona says, like, oh, I have no idea. Because it is kind of like his fault, but then she didn't do so well. I don't know. It's really messed up.
It was like a lot of like like moral dilemmas, and Decim was pushing them to the extreme. And at the end, he's like, okay, the game's over. Decim, like, because the guy was going nuts. He was about like, to assault his partner.
That's
and
right.
Decim is just like pull some threads. And
this guy's
some
like, spider threads.
He's like, what is happening here?
Right. Because it's one of those where she was expecting, he didn't know about it, but he got the idea that she was cheating on him, like on their marriage.
And then she was like, I cheated on you, you fucking idiot. And it's like,
right.
That's the part that I don't see. Like, was she just acting up, or was she actually
she really
like? Did she actually did it? Because at the very end, it's like at this point you're like, okay, I don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone here, it's driven nuts. And Decim just puts both of them back in their elevators. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you were able to catch that, but the girl had like a red Oni. On her elevator, and the guy still had like a white mask.
Yeah, the white mask.
And
yes, and for the idea of this place, it's the afterlife, and this is kind of like a it's like a judgment area, and he explains it that they're going to be sent to either heaven or hell, but that's kind of like the idea presented to people for like easy understanding. I think it's the second episode where the unnamed girl comes in, and it's actually explained where one person is going to be sent to the void and the other sent for reincarnation. Interesting idea to like expand on.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different beliefs
Asian
came like intertwined.
That's
and,
right.
Also,
very intertwined.
Really Asian,
not straightforward.
All of these Buddhist belief of reincarnation.
Definitely.
But in here they just put it in terms of like, like, in order for you to end up at the Qeendecim with Decim or one of the other bartenders, that these bartenders are called arbiters, you need to die at the same time as another person, and you will come in pairs.
A pair judgment.
You will be judged, and you will not have your memories. So you'll be kind of like whatever person you are right now, but you will have no idea what happened in the past. So it's like your current persona.
Yeah, which I thought was it seemed unfair.
It was.
And I was like really blown away that that's the way that they did it. So I definitely think it's like, like, aha, we got you kind of a thing, which the unnamed girl kind of, and we'll get to the part of her name later. But yeah, like it's kind of like a surprise to the people, depending on how they died and all of that. But it's like, she definitely challenges it, where it's like, okay, are you really bringing it out of them, or are you like forcing it? Well, anyway, the
purpose of the arbiters is like, how can we bring judge to these humans? It's like, push them to the extreme to show like the real self, and it's like
real self.
What kind of real self though? Because it's like you were pushing them to the limits just so they can rely on really primal instincts, which was fear.
Right, fear is,
and also they mention it like you are arbiters. You are not born, you don't die, you don't get, because that will get you human. And like if if you're close to human, then you will not be able to pass judgment on humans. So you need to be emotionless, and you are a puppet. And that is repeated throughout.
That's right.
And it is also weird, because and at the same time, it is not fair, because it's like, well, you have to be impartial to pass judgment. I agree with that, but at the same time, it's like,
because then you throw out the whole idea of why are people acting this way when they flare up. So oh man, we see it right from the get-go, and we hit upon it pretty strongly in the later episodes. But I thought that was really, really crazy. And the flip side, you could probably say it's kind of like a clean slate, like a tabula rasa of like they only act instinctively. But then it brings that question of like, really? Are you just pushing them? But
it's really fair
interesting,
though, because it's like like even like if you make a really good person mad, he's gonna punch you.
Oh yeah.
But you cannot say like, you see, he's an evil person because he punched me. It's like
and to brand them that way.
No,
right?
Because it's like, it's kind of like, well, if you are beeping around, you'll find out.
Oh yes. That idea.
But and I like only one episode.
Really?
And it's the next episode 3.
Oh yes, with the bowler.
With the bowling.
Okay.
That I think that was like the only wholesome one.
I agree.
I mean, there were a few others.
Let's jump into that one. We definitely won't be able to jump into all of them, but But yeah, that one is really good. Ending of episode 2, we get introduced to the girl. She is kind of like a new person to this whole setting. She's like watching from behind uh, uh, like a higher position or other side of the glass. She's like watching them. One thing she makes this point of like, oh, you probably don't understand the woman's feelings, and then the guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry for like messing up and whatnot. So yeah, the girl comes in and she starts being the assistant to Decim. So yeah.
Yeah, in this this next episode 3, we have a guy, kind of like college student, and also we have a girl.
Yeah.
Also college students, and they're like, hey, and Decim is like, hey, do you like the standard procedure? Do you remember anything prior to coming here? No, we don't. Okay, press this button. We're gonna play a game. Okay, they're gonna have to play bowling.
Yep.
And again, like,
the
bowling balls
another weird
have
thing.
their hearts, and they're able to feel their beating, and they're like
the beating of their hearts.
Oh, okay. And also, like, one of the other things, a few of the games were related to like their actual lives.
Okay.
In a few cases, though.
In a few cases.
But
yes, Death Arcade with like their move sets. Okay, I did notice that. Yep.
Also, one of the last ones with the lady that was an illustrator.
Oh yes, that was connected. Oh yeah, to the old maid cards.
But yeah, in this bowling one. This one also went like pretty good. I thought it was very. I was just waiting for disaster based on the 2 previous episodes.
I know, right? Yeah, but and that's the usual way. Like from the rest, like this particular episode, it definitely stands out to be the only wholesome one.
Yeah, because you're like they have their game. Like one of them wins, and they're like, oh. We still have a date. Let's have our date before.
It's so nice.
Before like it's parting our ways, because they get their memories and like they were both related, kind of like or acquainted.
Oh yes, yeah. They were. They knew each other in their life.
And at the end, they both went. They like both of their elevators had a white mask.
Yeah.
So it's like. Okay, like I was gonna get really mad if one of them was going to go.
I know, right? It would have been so unfair. So yeah, they had a.
I thought that one of them had to, reincarnate, and the other one.
Yeah, like an ironclad rule.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised that they both were reincarnated. Yeah. One thing on that too, a note on that is it's kind of interesting that they put this idea of heaven or hell, and also with the masks with like the Oni and then the white mask, where it's like this idea of like reincarnation is good, and then being cast into the void is bad. I thought that was an interesting idea, like that they put those ideas to reincarnation and cast into the void, where like is it really like good or bad being reincarnated, or like being
that too? Because
they did
mention something like, it's a new opportunity for them.
Okay. In that regard,
there's some other animes that also there's this movie I forgot the name. But it also talks about, kind of like suicide. And
what Wonder Egg Parody?
No, it's a movie. It's called Blue something.
Yeah.
Colorful. Yeah, it's called the movie is called Colorful. It's
Colorful. I have not seen it yet.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Maybe one day, but
it's a good one. I wouldn't recommend watching it. It's a good one.
Okay.
But it's not a good one. I was like, you really should watch it. It's like,
right.
You can avoid it because it's kind of messed up.
Okay.
But that movie, for example, expresses the idea of kind of like the consequences of committing suicide from like, I wouldn't say a religious point of view,
right?
More kind of like a spiritual. And you know, we talk about this on the K-drama that we talk about.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, this act of suicide was just like cuts
the string,
cutting all the red strings from loved ones.
Yeah.
And
because you're willingly like.
It was kind of like a similar concept, and in here they did something similar with, like, you know, reincarnation. Like you'll have opportunities,
new opportunity,
like start over. Like if your life didn't go as good, because for some reason the Qeendecim, it's only available for some people, or at least they didn't explain like, for the rest of the people that die.
Right, they didn't like to go over that, did they?
Are they judged differently? Like, are they like judged based on like what they had done without being pushed to the extreme and either go to heaven or earth, or like again reincarnation and nothingness?
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a fascinating thing. So like, this is like a particular look of what some people might experience. Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I was glad with that one because like, both of them.
Okay, yeah.
Like, reincarnated.
Yeah,
like,
if
they're
you think
gonna meet
about
again, hopefully. Like, I hope so.
It's kind of like, it's like a reward kind of a thing. Good feeling idea.
The followings after that.
Oh boy. But yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Bullying that one, makes you feel good. Totally agree.
No,
all the rest.
The next ones after that, we have a few flashbacks from when Decim started working. Mm-hmm. We also get introduced to another bartender.
Ginty.
Yeah.
And we also see a little bit more Nona.
And they also have like supernatural powers. Ginty has these kind of like wooden dolls.
Oh yes,
that uses for his powers. Decim is like the dreads. And he has this weird hobby of dressing up.
The mannequins. Yeah.
And we discover a little something a little interesting about Decim, that he actually has emotions. He's, you know, like a custom arbiter, if you will.
Yes.
Because Nona
made different.
Yeah, Nona made him like to be able to develop emotions.
Mm-hmm. And so he's not quite the run-of-the-mill type of arbiter like everybody else. Yeah, he mentions that the reason of why he has this really strange and freaky hobby is because, like, I'm remembering all the people that comes here. Yeah. All the ones that have had a good life. Yeah. And like, and that's my way, kind of like to immortalize them, regardless of them going, you know, reincarnating or going to the void. Because also one of the things that I kind of got is like reincarnation. It was like, it's a completely different person. Yeah, I got that feeling too. Like maybe the same soul, but totally different being. Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. And oh boy. There were some freaky ones. I do kind of want to mention the cross heart attack episode with Mayu and Harada. Oh, the Geru. the Geru. So we do see them in like later episodes. They don't quite get their judgment like right away in that episode, like everybody else. The dude. Yeah. The singer, he does receive his judgment, but not the girl. Oh, in the same episode, I think that happens.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's shown, but then it's like, oh yeah, the dude went to the void.
True. Yeah, that is true. Yes. And then in the second to last episode, we see Mayu get her judgment too. Yeah. Oh, it's fascinating. But we could let's hear the murderers in Death Rally.
Death Rally. Oh boy, that
with the air hockey.
That one was
episode.
a freaky one.
Oh boy, yeah.
It's like both of them were good people. Turned bad.
Turned bad. Yes, because the detective, he wanted. He wanted people to get their justice, but he took he was trying to help people, but he took it in such an extreme where he was willing to knowingly let people do bad things in order to dish out his own punishment. I don't know if he considered himself above the law.
Kind of like a really twisted view of the law. Because it's like, you know what? I wanted to catch this guy that I knew he was doing some bad stuff, but I needed proof.
Right.
So I followed him, got the proof.
Right.
And it's like at the same time we have this other dude.
Yeah. The kid just wanted to...
He was an orphan. He was raising his little sister by himself, and then her sister got abused.
Yeah, his
and
sister
then he was like
got assaulted.
And the sister was like, "Oh, there was someone else," and it was like,
right. Right.
Whoa.
Dude. Gotta tie up loose ends. Yeah.
And so the brother also went ballistic.
Yep.
He took his revenge, and they was like, "Oh, there was someone else. Oh, someone's coming."
Yeah, and oh my god.
Yeah, he ended up attacking the detective, and he fell, and I think he hit his head, and he lost his life as well, right?
Yeah, and he died too.
The detective was like, "Oh yeah, man. You know what? You got your revenge. What else we want?"
It's like good for you. Like you gotta take it all the way. Like you gotta dish out.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh man, and
the last part where he snaps because all the
pucks,
all the pugs
stacked up.
were stacked up, and
again, this is oh my gosh, where it's linked to the body parts and causes pain. Oh man, yeah. Oh my gosh, gotta watch that episode. Oh man.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
You'll see it here first.
Yeah. Skip that
I'm
one.
I'm pretty sure there's like a clip that editor me was like, yeah, I'm gonna put it.
Oh yes. Cause that's let's see here. Cause I would say what I want to say is the bowling ballet, that's like the most wholesome one, like maybe up here if you think of it in regards to like humanity, the extremes of humanity, the bowling one up here, and then the death rally.
Way down
at the bottom. Yeah, those are the extremes. I would say
on second place would be the illustrator one. The old lady.
I agree.
Because she took it pretty good.
Yeah, she it was like at the end of her life, and that's where we see the unnamed girl having her memories come back. And then Death Arcade.
Dark Arcade.
Gosh dang.
I guess that was
it would be kind of
because the guy was
in the middle,
the guy
maybe a
neat.
little yes.
He was not working because bullying or whatever. And he had a stepmom, and the stepmom was the stepmom was a lamb.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we had this office lady that took terrible decisions in life.
Yeah.
And then it seems like her life was okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't.
Right. with like the family pressures and work pressures and
then how she
uh,
almost bet to that
uh,
the neat guy when the neat guy only wanted to.
uh-huh.
I mean, he regretted that
He did,
how he was like that. He was like, oh
right?
yeah, she
Because he
like
also
I could have
committed
been nice to her
suicide.
because she was being nice to me, and
Right.
but the other lady was like, why did this happen to me? And like,
Yeah,
it's like
took it out on him. Oh man.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
like okay, it's like this is too real.
Seriously, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that was quite the surprising one. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Overall, really, really fascinating episodes. Before we get to Chiaki,
Yeah,
I do want to mention with Mayu and Harada, he was basically judged, like being sent to the void. I didn't really get the whole like, oh, you'll have a choice, Mayu, with are you gonna like save Harada and then like at the cost of I think maybe somebody else's life, which we see another.
no, her life. In her case, it was her life.
That's
Like
right.
she
Yeah.
had to go to the void.
That's right.
If she wanted like
to
her favorite singer's
yeah.
life to have another chance, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Like,
do it."
okay, let's do it. Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, okay."
And he's like, okay, I'll grant you that. He puts them in the elevator and sends them off. And no joke, when I saw the white mask, in my mind I was like, oh no, is it gonna flip? Like I distinctly remember like having that thought, and yeah, it flipped.
It flipped, yeah.
Dude,
because she was supposed to reincarnate.
Right, yeah.
Oh boy,
Blew my mind.
but yeah, Gin. I mean, at the end, Gin ended up having a wooden doll like her.
Oh yes, yeah.
So like, I kind of feel that he also had some emotions. I don't think Decim was the only one that Nana made with emotions.
Interesting. Okay, Ginty, he was kind of a recent one. Okay, interesting. I like that theory. Definitely worth a rewatch to pick that
I guess
out
a few
then.
parts.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
But
interesting.
yeah, like going to the last part.
Yeah.
Chiaki. Her story is interesting because when she first got to Decim, she remembered that she was dead. She told Decim like, "What am I doing here? I'm supposed to be dead."
Yeah.
He's like,
it's like,
how?
Oh
like,
crap!
Do you remember anything? He's like, "No, I just know that I'm supposed to be dead."
Yeah.
Okay. So like she was like wiped out of her memory.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we'll let you have her as an assistant while we figure out what to do with this, because this has never happened. Mm-hmm. And Chiaki remembers stuff little by little. Across the episodes, and then she's like, what am I doing here? Then she also notices that she's a dummy, like she's a mannequin.
Yeah,
with
her
life.
skin starts flaking
and
off.
Like that means that her time in Decim it's expiring.
Yep.
So she has to be judged to either reincarnation or void.
Yeah.
And she starts to remember this stuff, and she was I guess a professional ice skater.
Yeah.
She was really good. She
very good.
Gained a lot of prizes, but then tragedy struck.
Yep. She had a knee go out, and basically she had an injured knee, and she had to go to the doctors. And she got probably the worst news for any type of like sport active person. You'll never be able to skate again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, well, cheer up and stuff," but she was like,
Right.
"How do you want me to cheer up, you son of a?"
Yeah.
And so like she fell into this really big depression.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
okay,
deep, like really really bad, to the point where like usually these types of stories is like, oh, like it's that thought of, oh, I can never do what I really love to do ever again, like, oh, then what's the point of living?
yeah,
But
because
for
they're like, oh, a
her,
really important
it
part of me died.
right, yeah,
Like
exactly,
I lost it. I
I lost
am
it.
a nobody.
Yeah, who, like, I can't continue. What's the point? But for her, it went even deeper. Like for her, uh, it's the point where she has this idea of, yeah, this is who she is, and if that's the case, then the people around me, they don't they don't know me. I don't know them. Like without this, like there's it's even more than there's no point to life. It's that everybody's a stranger.
Yeah,
Which is like, whoa.
And I kind of like how they handle that, because like, okay, this is a new perspective on,
it is,
I guess, suicide, right? Because
yes,
when you're in that point, if you ever have those kind of thoughts, you're like, oh yeah, no one cares about me, and I'm just like one of many. So it's like,
and uselessness
like, I
comes
can
in.
go. So it's like, yeah, it's like,
right,
no,
not
no,
that,
because then she's like, okay,
right,
they can show some like on the very last episode on Suicide Tour, he makes an illusion of the kind of life that her mom was leading, how her mom was grieving her loss, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry that I never noticed this. It's like, I never knew that you were going through so much pain, and then it hit her like, oh crap, like I did wrong, which maybe a lot of like suicide victims, they don't really get to have those kind of thoughts, because they're so immersed in them.
Right.
But it's like, okay, you know what? There are people that care.
Yeah, for her, it really struck her.
And for her, like, she had a lot of friends. But like,
she did.
mostly like her mom,
like skating friends. Yeah, and her
because her mom was like, hey, you're still a great woman, and she's like, I'm not. And it's like,
oh yeah, when she came into the bedroom,
and then Decim told him like,
right,
okay, like, I'm gonna give you this controller. You press it, someone will die, and you will have your life back.
Yes.
It's like, who will die? Do you care? It's like, you don't know him. He's like,
what are the chances?
He's like, that person will die. Like, someone always dies. Like,
7,000. Yeah, and he gave her a statistic. Yeah.
But
for her,
and then she was put as like, just like, press it. Like, someone will die. It's like, it won't matter to you. You don't know him.
Right.
And a lot of times as this happens, like, okay, yeah, you know what? It's like, I don't care if people die, because I don't know them. But it's like,
right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because you say it, but one thing is saying it. It's like, I don't care about people. And one thing is like, okay, press this, someone will die. Will you do it?
Will you do it? Yeah.
Okay.
Really, yeah. And yeah, it's incredible, her reaction compared to how like her way of thinking in the last few days of her life. When she's given this choice, she says, yeah, but somebody will care for that person who will die. Like somebody out there. Oh, it's incredible. It's just incredible. Oh man.
And that breaks Decim.
It does.
Because I don't know if you noticed, but like, probably. Like his eyes, like he just went like a normal person, and he was like, and everything breaks, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry for doing this. Like, I didn't mean to do this, like to take it this far. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so like, kind of like a broken record.
Sorry. Yeah.
And Chiaki is like,
Incredible.
it's okay, it's
Incredible.
okay. It's like, because Chiaki at this point is like, oh yeah, you know what? I
Yeah.
did something really stupid.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like suicide is stupid. And there can be like a lot of people saying like, yeah, you know what? Like you don't know what you're talking about. Like no, it's stupid. Like think about it. Like.
Oh yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I think that anime just like makes you think. It's like, yeah, you know what?
It does. Yeah.
Think it twice.
Really think about it. Yeah. It's incredible. Incredible.
And you know, we said again because like Asia has like suicide rates that are really high.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it's like I think
this...
it was like a good way to you know address it. Because I guess the media is one of the only ways to properly address it, saying like, okay, here are the consequences.
Well, in a very, very great holistic. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, it's a fantastic story.
Yeah, not kind of saying like, oh, just watch this series and your desires to commit suicide will be gone. Like, no, it's like, watch this series and it's like, think about it and look for help, my dude.
Oh yes.
So yeah, that is one of the redeeming things that I like. Because, you know, even though it's not my cup of tea, because it's...
right. It's really dark.
Really heavy and dark.
Really
like, that's one of the
ugliness
things
of humanity.
That is like, yeah, okay.
It has a fantastic ending with, with this, she's basically judged by Decim. And yeah, she goes off. And then we see her mannequin dressed up by the bar.
Yeah, and she's reincarnated.
She is reincarnated. Yep.
Decim is still like same old Decim.
Yep, same old.
Trying to smile a little more.
Oh yes,
with his creepy smile.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, just those little things that are so fantastic.
Yeah, it ended kind of like in a you know, light-hearted ending.
Yeah, very positive.
It was really positive because it's like, okay, yeah, you know what? At the end they're like, oh yeah, you know, arbiters, like,
oh yes,
we don't live, we don't die, we don't have emotions because that will make us human.
That's right.
Oh,
I wrote it down. I wrote them down. And throughout the anime, like a couple of people say this. I noticed the ending. Nona says it. And then the other guy, not quite God, but God in this building.
Yeah, kind of.
So it's first, arbiters cannot give up passing judgment, for it is why they exist. Second, arbiters cannot experience death, for that would link them too closely to humans. Third, arbiters cannot feel emotion, for they are merely puppets. And then the fourth one, which is only said once by that old guy in the last episode, arbiters may not work hand in hand with life, for it will ruin them. Kind of an interesting ending one. Yes, with Decim. It did.
It's like, okay, we
saw it.
We need to revise this list.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Yeah. Very fascinating.
So yeah, really interesting anime, really open-ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, if this kind of like heavy psychological kind of stuff is not yours,
definitely skippable.
Yeah.
Or please skip it. Yeah. But yeah, if you're okay with it, it's
if you're not faint of heart and you're kind of like into these kind of psychological kind of things, it's like go for it.
Yeah.
But oh boy, yeah, I hope you liked it.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a good anime, I think.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next week with another anime. Keep watching anime.
We'll see ya.
Matanin.